Hey everyone, this is Professor Eskew, and in this video I'd like to just quickly go over some of the highlights of the syllabus. The syllabus can be found by going into Blackboard, look in the left-hand side on the course menu, click on Syllabus, and then you will see the link for the syllabus to pop up. Here is the syllabus for you. You are more than welcome to download it or print it as well, so feel free to do that. Here are some of the highlights I want to hit with you. Please make sure that you read this and forward any questions, comments, or concerns to me. So first thing I want to point out is the course CRN, or the course reference number. That is a 5-digit number that is unique to your course. It may not be this 5-digit number because I use this video in multiple sections of this class that I teach, and I'm teaching several sections of it this summer. So this may or may not be your CRN, but I encourage you to jot it down. The reason is if you contact me through email, I ask in the subject line of the email that you put the course number, so accounting 116B, and your CRN. What that does for me is it allows me to be able to go into the correct course directly into your work if it's a specific question on quizzes or homework, and I can respond back to you in a very timely manner. So if you would be kind enough to do that for me, I would do that for you. And right down here is where my email address is, so you can do that. If you need to make an appointment, I am not on campus during the summer session. But if I'm able to and you need me to be there, we can try to set up an appointment for that. Otherwise, another option is what is Zoom teleconference. And what Zoom is a teleconference. So it means that you and I can talk virtually. And if you have a camera on your phone or your laptop or your desktop, we can actually see each other and work through if it's a problem or something, we can work through that together. So if that works for you, let me know and I can send you the link for the Zoom teleconference. Here are the learning outcomes. There are 6 of them for this class. So I tie all of my assignments, your homework problems, your quiz questions, and your discussion boards to these 6 learning outcomes. Why I do that is so when you complete this course, you should be able to demonstrate mastery in these 6 areas. So here is what I just told you in much more detail, so please feel free to peruse that. Here is the textbook that we're using. It is Managerial Accounting, 16th edition from Garrison, Noreen, and Brewer. It's a McGraw-Hill textbook. So you can get the textbook in multiple ways. You can go to the bookstore and order the textbook, and you need to get the access code for Connect. So you need that as well. So you can get the bundle. The bundle is the textbook and the access card. If you are comfortable with e-textbooks or electronic textbooks and don't want to have an actual physical or hard copy, you can just buy the access code. The access code will give you access to the e-textbook. And I think you can buy just the access code at the bookstore as well. You can also go through Blackboard in our class to connect directly and purchase your access code, or you can go to a third-party, vendor and buy the textbook or rent the textbook, but you'll still have to buy the access code. McGraw-Hill does give you a 2-week free trial period. So what that means for you is that you should be able to do the homework starting with, or the assignments starting with week 1. So my caution to you is don't go in though and start your free trial until you're ready to start the homework, because once you initiate the trial, your clock starts on your 14-day free trial. So make sure that you're ready to or prepared to start studying when you access that free trial. Okay? And also you'll want to register all of that through Blackboard, and there is a video in the announcements that show you how to do that. Okay? Here is the grading. So there are 4 different assessments that I use to determine your mastery of the topics. That's discussion boards, homeworks, presentations, and quizzes. You can see the point breakdown, the number. There are 15 chapters in the class, where in the book we cover 13 in the class. So you have a total of 1,100 points possible in this class. Here's the grading scale. It is the typical San Diego Community College District's 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. So we give you 10-point spread. We give you grades only. We do not do pluses and minuses. And because you have that 10-point percentage points spread, I do not round scores. So if you get an 89.97, you're going to get a B. Okay? So just be aware of that. The different assignments every week, I'm asking you to read 1 to 2 chapters a week in your textbook. I would encourage you to do that because your quizzes are theory and problems. Okay? And you'll get the theory primarily from reading the textbook. I do discussion boards. There are 4 discussion boards, but you're actually doing entries almost every week. And then how that works is this. There are 2 due dates. 2. So the first due date is the due date where you are going to put your response to the discussion board prompt. The second due date is due about a week after, and that's where you go in and you respond to it at a minimum of 3. And I say a minimum of 3. So a minimum means that's the average expectation. So you go in and do that by the due date, post your 3, and you will have completed the assignments. A lot of students wait and miss that first due date, and you will have points taken off for you because you need to hit that first due date for your initial post, so folks have something to respond to. Okay? Video presentations. Video presentations are just high overview. I ask you to do those prior to doing your homework and quizzes, so that'll be your due date that's earlier in the week. They just give you a great overview, and so you'll watch a portion of video and answer questions, and it goes through that. Okay? Homework problems. There's a lot of homework. I'm just going to tell you, and it's time consuming. So it's less time consuming if you take the time to read the book, however. So there are 13 chapters. Homeworks are worth 30 points. You are able to do unlimited attempts on your homework. So that means you can come in, work on your homework. But here's what I would encourage you to do. If you're going to do that, and I would tell you to do it, go in, do a couple problems. If you start getting mentally fatigued, then simply submit the homework. It's okay to submit the homework and not have everything done. You won't score all the points, but you have unlimited attempts. So when you come in the second time, I've set it up so that the homeworks that you've already completed will show into your next attempt, so you won't have to go back and redo those problems. They'll still stay there, and then you can keep working. That way you can pace yourself, and most students who pace themselves and do 1 or 2 of the homework problems say, my mind is mush, I've got to get away from it, and then they submit. Again, you got to submit it, and then they come back and they get to pick up where they've started. Are much more successful than those folks who try to sit down and do all of the homework in one sitting. So you can also, after the due date, you can still continue to turn it in, but you will get 25% deduction on the total points that you earn, not the total points that was the assignment was worth. Okay? And that's also true with the video presentations. Quizzes, there are 7 quizzes, so you have no quiz week 1, but you have quiz all of the other times. Quizzes are timed. They cover just the material that you've learned for this week. They consist of true and false, multiple choice, theory, and problems. I did say that they are timed. You may take the quiz twice. I will take the higher of the 2 quizzes. Because these are timed and date sensitive, you will not be able to take quizzes after the due date. Okay? Here is just some general information I like to try, suggestions that I've heard from students, or because I'm an old guy who's also been in school a large part of my life, things that I've also learned. So just read through these and they will be helpful to you. Okay? Here, late policy, I already covered that for you. Instructor feedback, you should be able to get immediate feedback on your homework and quizzes, the way I've set those up for you. And I try to be responsive to your emails very, very quickly. And same way with getting your grades back to you on your discussion board. Important dates. So any dates that you are concerned about adding, dropping, withdrawing, all of those, here are the due dates for you. Please be mindful of that. The only other thing I would add to this in this section is within the first 2 weeks, you must complete at least 1 assignment and submit it. If you do not do that, by district policy, I am required to drop you from the class. So, and I will not reinstate you unless you have the assignments completed. So be aware of that. Here's some information for you on if you have any trouble with Blackboard or help desk. If you need accommodations for this class, please know that I am absolutely more than happy to help you and assist you in that. But I need to make sure that you provide me with the documentation from Mesa College's DSPS office. So there is a link here. If you are not sure whether or not you need or you do need and just need to get me the paperwork for Mesa, here's the link for that. Our Academic Skills Center or tutoring is in our Learning Resource Center or our library on campus. Here is the link for all of that information. Also, please note, if you go on the home page of our course on the left-hand side, about halfway down, there's a link called NetTutor, and NetTutor is online tutoring, so you have that as well. Okay? If you're a veteran, we also have veteran services and a resource center for you on campus. Here's the link to that. If you're looking to transfer anytime in the near future, here's the link for the transfer center. And any additional services that you may need or need to be aware of, I've included that link on there for you as well. Here are some general links, just resources for you. You may want to just peruse those and see if those would be of help. Then finally, the last thing I want to cover is our tentative class schedule. You may want to print this page out, definitely. So this tells you all of the assignments each week, the due dates, what's being covered. I also tell you there's the 2 due dates for the discussion board. So here's your first posting, here's your second posting. Please make sure that you do those. There are all weeks here. The biggest thing I guess I would like to tell you is notice the due dates are a little different because I told you earlier I want you to do the video presentation before you attempt the homework or the quiz. Homework and quiz have the same due dates, but then the discussion board may have a different due date as well. So there's also a calendar tab under the home page, so take advantage of that as well. Last thing I want to talk to you about is the last week. Notice that all the due dates on that are Friday. They are not Saturday or Sunday. They are Friday because August 10th is the last day of the semester. So please make sure that you take note of that. Other than that, I hope we have a great time together.